How you doing, friends? Welcome back. This is WindersRanger. It's been quite a while since we went to any of the Disney parks. Went ahead and made a reservation for this weekend. I don't usually like to go on a Saturday, simply because the crowds tend to be a little bit heavier, especially this time of year. We're just coming out of spring break, so but there's a lot of updates and changes and park closures and rides that are going away and new stuff that's coming. And I thought it would be fun to go to Magic Kingdom and maybe take a look at a couple of the things that are getting ready to close, some of the stuff that's already closed, like Big Thunder Mountain, that's under refurbishment now. The Rivers of America, the Riverboat, and Tom Sawyers Island, if things go the way Disney wants, all of that's going to go away and be replaced by a Cars Land. I'm not so sure I fully agree with that decision, but the bean counters and the such at Disney have decided, I know that they need to keep things updated and fresh and new, and I'm sure they keep track of the attendance of who rides the Riverboat, how many people ride the Riverboat. Same thing with Tom Sawyers Island. It'll be a shame to see Tom Sawyers Island go away along with the Riverboat, simply because they were, in my opinion, they were some of the things that Walt originally wanted for his park. If you go back to Walt's original designs even before Disneyland, I forget what the name of the park was supposed to be, but it was right there close in Anaheim, across the street or right down the road from where the Imagineers are. That drawing had a riverboat and a Rivers of America concept to it. So I don't know, a lot of questions in my mind, like what are they going to do with the riverboat? Are they going to set it down someplace and let it be like a walk-in attraction, or are they just going to get rid of it altogether? I don't know. There's a lot of maintenance when it comes to steam boilers and things like that. I understand that. Tom Sawyers Island and some of the designs that went into the different cave systems on the island, there's a lot of forced perspective and kind of like a fun house vibe to, if you walk on one side of the cave and you look at the other, it looks like people are getting bigger or getting smaller through the proportions of the cave. There's a lot of neat designs that were incorporated into those caves. It'd be a shame to see all that go away. At the same time, Cars Land, I guess that'll be cool. If they I'm sure it won't be a one-to-one copy of what California has, but that kind of gives you an idea of maybe what we could expect here. In the corner behind Tom Sawyers Island and kind of right there, if you're looking out across the Rivers of America and the Haunted Mansions right there, back in that corner, my understanding is there's going to be a Villains Land back there. The concept art, the concept art looks like it's going to be neat. There's some speculation, I think, in that concept art, or maybe not speculation, but maybe a hint that there could be a roller coaster, probably some other attractions in there. That could be neat. I could see that. That's untouched land. I suspect that's going to have to go on the other side of the railroad track, so there'll have to be a bridge or something to traverse the tracks to get to that area, if you look at the way the ground's laid out. So I thought we would go take a look at that. Buzz Lightyear is also going to be closing the next 2 or 3 months, I think, for an update, a much needed update in my opinion. The laser cannons are going to get replaced. The targets that you hit with the laser cannon, they're going to get updated, where they light up and do different things when you hit them. And I think the ride vehicles will be updated as well. So if we have time, the goal from Magic Kingdom will be to go over to Hollywood Studios, maybe get a bite to eat, and take a look at Muppets 3D. That's going to go away and be replaced. It's supposed to be replaced with a Monstropolis and a Monsters Inc. kind of a vibe. I think even a roller coaster, I think, is supposed to be incorporated there. So we'll see. We'll see what we can pack in the day. Some of that transitioning from one park to the next can get a little tricky. Just kind of getting back into the YouTube video making and production. The last, 4 or 5 videos have been all train and railroad content, and the response has been positive with the views, and I appreciate that. There's a lot of content on the web that you can watch and you can take part in, and to have you guys stop by and watch my videos and take time out of your day to interact with my channel. I do really appreciate that. So, so anyway, let's get loaded up. We'll pack up our stuff and we'll head to the park. So here we go. Well, here we are. We made it. We'll take the ferry boat across and hold on to our hats and glasses.
Okay, that would be great.
What's this one?
Alright, let's see how Jason.
Yes.
How about we take a spin on the railroad? There's the new ride, Tron. Walking through Tomorrowland, looks like the Astro Orbiter is missing. Wonder where that went to. I've seen a couple pictures where it was going, but I haven't really heard anything about like why or what they're doing with it or what. I wonder if it's coming back. So there's Buzz Lightyear. That's going to be closed here before too long. They're going to update that. I've got a little bit of video of what the new targets and stuff are going to look like. I think that's been long overdue for an update. The targets will light up and the guns will be a little bit different, and I think they're going to redo the ride vehicles. That should be pretty cool. Yeah, let's take a ceremonial trip on the Riverboat. Old Aunt Polly's. Hard to believe it's all going to go away. Kind of wonder how they're going to incorporate a Cars Land with Frontierland right there. I don't know how that's going to work. What do you think they'll do with the riverboat? Turn it into a snack shack. There you can see the crane that's working on Big Thunder Mountain, putting in a new track. And I suppose somewhere off behind Big Thunder Mountain, or maybe the backside of where Fort Langhorne is where the Villains Land is supposed to be. We've got a couple of still photos of the concept art of Villains Land. We'll throw that in here somewhere. It's interesting. The first iteration of Disneyland, that really wasn't called Disneyland, had a wind-powered mill drawn on it. I think that drawing was done by Harper Golf, I believe. It had a version of the Rivers of America, and it also had a steamboat drawn on it as well. Harper Golf was one of Walt's original Imagineers. He had a lot to do with the Jungle Cruise, coming up with the Jungle Cruise in Disneyland. I wonder, the update for Big Thunder Mountain, I wonder if it's going to have the explosion scene where the, I don't know what it is, rock cave-in or the earthquake scene when you're going up the hill, the second hill. I wonder if they're going to redo that with the explosion scene with the powder and the fuses burning. That'd be cool. That's a challenge to put new track in an existing mountain. Basically, it's a building, but basically it's a mountain. It looks like a mountain. So Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean is something like 7 minutes longer, I think, than what the Pirates of the Caribbean version is here in Florida. And in the Blue Bayou scene in the beginning of the Disneyland version, they've got an old guy sitting on a porch fishing in a little shack. Looks just like this one here that we've got in Florida, but it's on the rivers of America. Oh, fish just jumped. I wonder what they're going to do with all that stuff. I guess that's going to end up backstage somewhere. Each one of these buoys along here have each got a name, different name. Deer Crossing. I think one of them is Raccoon Point. Back years ago, they had keel boats that were out here as well with the Riverboat. They also used to have canoes. They got rid of the canoes a long time ago. I think Disneyland still has the canoes. Keel boats went away when, well, they weren't ADA accessible is one reason. But I think one of them capsized or sunk or something. I believe that was here in Florida. They eventually got rid of them, but the Pirates Cave up here is holden to when they used to have the keel boat. It's supposed to be representative of the cave where they're all in there hooping and hollering and drinking and whatever. Got their keel boat parked outside. And you got Fort Langhorne. The one in Disneyland is still there. It's well, I don't know if it is. I think they closed it. But anyway, it used to be called Fort Wilderness, which is what the campground's named here in Florida. But this one's Fort Langhorne. It used to be Fort Sam Clemens. They changed it to Fort Langhorne. They dropped the E at the end, but the Langhorne is Samuel Clemens or Mark Twain's middle name, Langhorne. But his has the E. That's the fort here. They dropped the E. So I don't know if that's a misspelling by the Imagineers, or did they do that on purpose? That's a question I've always had. But yep, Fort Langhorne. So the interesting thing about the Riverboat is the turns in the River of America are too tight for the Riverboat to negotiate, so they've got a track or a rail underwater that guides the boat, but it's actually powered by the paddle wheel, which is driven by a steam engine. The boiler burns oil, fuel oil, but this actually propels the boat forward. Just like in a locomotive, this would be your Johnson bar for forward and reverse, and the different graduations in between admit more or less steam in whatever direction. So that's full forward, that's neutral, and then all the way the other way would be full reverse. check out the update for Country Bear Jamboree. Now the Country Bear Musical Jamboree.
The songs will be stuck in my head. Where else would they get stuck? We don't have bodies.
We don't have bodies.
Looks like the gang's just about ready. So now's the time we remind you there's no eating,
Drinking or smoking allowed in the theater.
and you can take all the photos and video you like. Just please, no flash photography or video lighting. We've already got Rufus on Spotlight.
Do we? Rufus, wake up! Oh.
Over here.
Sorry.
Okay, everybody. Now we're ready to start. Give us a little intro there, Gomer. Howdy, folks. Welcome to the one and only original Country Bear Musical Jamboree, featuring a wild and woolly assortment of grizzled old grizzlies. Hit it, boys! And now, sweeter than a hive full of honey, it's our very own Trixie and the talented trio, Bunny, Bubbles, and Beulah. Or is it Beulah, Bunny, and Bubbles? Well, any way you count it, they're triple the fun. Okay, boys, now why don't we try something a little different?
She don't have a lot to say, but there's something about her. You only kiss the girl.
Oh, well.
Making me hungry. Not me, I'm stuffed.
Okay, now, our next performer used to play with the Mineral King, but he's here now. A furry firestorm of fiddling Floridian fury. Take it away, Ernest. Yeah, he's on fire today.
Yeah, he's really burning good. Where did he come from?
I can show you the world. I can open your eyes, a whole new world with you. Y'all swing by and see me sometime.
I would, but I'm scared of heights. And I'm scared of swings.
You know, it might surprise you to learn that our next performer is still an eligible bachelor. Is it the clumpy way he walks?
Or the grumpy way he talks. Or the pear-shaped, square-shaped weirdness of his feet.
And though we know he washes well,
He always ends up sort of smelly.
but you'll never be a bear
There he comes.
Remember me. Oh, I had to say goodbye. Poor guy. Poor curtains.
Well, folks, I'd say that's a rendition we'll remember for a long time. Now, how about we do one of my favorites? You've got a friend in me.
Oh, say, Henry, why don't we invite all our friends out there to join us for the finale?
Great idea, Sammy. Hey, gang! this concludes our show. As you can see, we're still barely keeping it together. Now gather up all your bare necessities and exit out the doors on your right. What do you say, Sammy?
I say, y'all come back, yeah?
Alright, well that's going to do it for Magic Kingdom. We're going to head on out of here and head on over to Hollywood Studios and check out a couple things there and maybe get a bite to eat. So here we go. There's the new Disney Vacation Club Polynesian Tower. I don't know what they call it. Took the place of the Aloha show. It's a pretty big hotel. Alright, so we made it to our second park, Hollywood Studios. We're going to head over and get a bite to eat and then check out a couple of things that are going away. Here we go. Yep, there she is, Gertie the dinosaur. Billed as, I think, one of the first animated characters in movie history, I believe. It was a vaudeville act. I don't remember the year, though. Early 1900s, I remember that. Muppet Vision 3D, one of the ones getting ready to go away, and Fountain and all of this, all going to be part of Monstropolis, from my understanding. Kind of makes you wonder how many things up here on the ceiling, like the pigs in space. You know, which ones are actual, like, screen-used props from the old Muppet show.
Hey, look at the guy in the goofy mask. That's not a mask. Sorry, lady.
Sorry, boss. Hi-ho, Kermity Frog here, and welcome to Muppet Vision 3D. Now, let me show you around our research center. Now, working the projector is an old friend of ours, the Swedish chef. Chef, everything okay?
Eller hoppen, der maskinen is going der flumy.
Exactly, honeydew, and his assistant, Beaker.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kermit. Today, let's look at the advancements we've been working on for Muppet Vision. Beaker, would you turn on the machine? The wheels of progress turn swiftly here as we strike upon ways to bring science safely to you. This user-friendly machine will now generate the first living 3D effect just by flicking a simple switch.
I'm Waldo, the spirit of 3D.
Thank you, Beaker.
Where are you? Bunny! Anybody seen a bunny? Oh, I don't see a bunny. Where? Where? Oh, nothing up there but a bunny. A bunny? Me! Hey, Kermit! Look! What?
Bean, what are you doing out there?
I'm running away. Nobody would let me help in the movie.
Oh.
This is a very moving moment. Yeah, I wish they'd move it to Pittsburgh.
Hey, Bean! What are we doing sticking around here? Let's burn rubber!
In fact, he's Waldo, my 3D friend, and we're both leaving the movie.
Maybe Bean could set off the fireworks.
That sounds great!
Yeah, I'll stay and help. I love fireworks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Muppets proudly present the final demonstration of Muppet Vision 3D.
Everyone okay in here? We surrender! We surrender! What an explosion!
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to apologize for our slight technical difficulties. but I do wish to assure you that no one was hurt and this theater suffered only minor damage. So thank you very much for coming to see this demonstration of Muppet Vision technology, and enjoy the rest of your stay, and come see us again sometime.
Alright, well that's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, and we will see you all on the next video. Until then, be safe and take care.